seconds.
10 segundos.
Stand by.
Começando agora o nosso Hit Number 1 do individual feminino aqui na arena, última prova do dia para elas, evento de número 4, começando com 10 snatches com a carga de 125 libras.
E a Natália Mencari avançando. Primeira atleta a avançar, rolando a sua barra para fazer mais 5 repetições e fechar o primeiro round de snatches.
Rounds, 10 snatches e 12 burpees sobre a barra para elas. Já temos uma atleta na sua série de burpees. Sasha
Raia 5.
Chris Schmidt, também na sua série de burpee. Camila Gonzalez.
Ei, quem está agitando o som aí pra você é o nosso querido DJ Douglas Grimaldi. Agitando a festa aqui no Latin American Regionals 2018. É isso aí, voltando para quebrar. E essa bateria começa a ficar mais rápida. A Natália Mencari avançando, abrindo a segunda série de snatches. Ela que está na raia de número 8.
2 minutos de prova. Natália Mencari e Sasha Nievas, lado a lado já no segundo round de snatch.
Olha lá, do outro lado da arena também, na raia de número 1, a Camila Gonzalez também avançando, já abrindo o segundo round de snatches. E a Luanete aqui na outra ponta, a raia de número 9, também abrindo a segunda série de snatches. E quem assume a liderança por enquanto é a Sasha Nievas, aparentemente ali no centro da arena, rolando a sua barra. E Natália Mencari também começando as últimas 5 repetições do round de número 2. Com 3 minutos de prova.
Chris Schmidt também aqui, já no segundo round de snatch. Sasha Nievas, a primeira atleta a iniciar o segundo round de burpees. São 12 burpees e elas estão avançando de 6 em 6 burpees.
Também agora iniciando os burpees do segundo round, Natália Mencari. E Chris Schmidt também.
Isso aí, vamos chegar agora em 4 minutos de prova. Time cap dessa prova de 9 minutos, Daniel.
Ei, isso mesmo, apenas 9 minutos, não pode perder muito tempo. E Luanete também começando o seu round de burpees. Últimos burpees do round de número 2 para Sasha Nievas, que agora vai avançar para a carga mais leve, apenas 75 libras na barra. Vamos ver aí as meninas acelerando agora. Rounds 3 e 4, 75 libras.
É isso aí, agora começa a velocidade aqui nesses snatches, uma carga aqui para elas. Tá bem leve aí, 75 libras. atleta Sasha Nievas, primeiro atleta inicial, terceiro round, são 10 snatches, 12 burpees sobre a barra. Natália Mencari, também da Vitória CrossFit, aí ó, na sua terceira série. Luísa Dias também.
Sem soltar a barra, Natália Mencari emendando aí mais 5 repetições, assumindo a liderança.
Mandando muscle snatch aqui na arena, atleta Luísa Dias, 5 minutos e 10.
E ela fecha o terceiro round de snatches e vai para mais 12 burpees. Junto com Sasha Nievas também, as duas atletas aí praticamente empatadas.
Luísa Dias também já na sua penúltima série de burpees sobre a barra, juntamente com Sasha Nievas, Cristi Mitch e Natália Mencari.
É isso aí, agora nesses rounds 3 e 4 fica um pouco mais leve, a disputa fica ainda mais acirrada, hein?
Iniciando também o penúltimo round de burpees, Camila Gonçalves, ela que é da Red Sky CrossFit, 6 minutos no relógio.
6 minutos, 3 para o final.
Faltando 3 minutos.
E olha só, é a Sasha Nievas que vai abrir o quarto e último round primeiro.
Isso aí, atleta Sasha Nievas da Jacobol CrossFit no último round.
Não, quem pegou a barra primeiro foi a Natália Mencari, começou já as suas últimas séries de snatches.
Cristi Mitch e Luísa Dias mandando o muscle snatch, mas quem lidera é Natália Mencari. Chegando em 7 minutos de prova, Natália Mencari avançando, Cristi Mitch assumindo a liderança na série de burpees. Cristi Mitch na
2 minutos para o final, olha só, a Cris passou na frente aí, acelerando os burpees finais. Sasha Nievas e Natália Mencari tentando acompanhar aí, vai ser muito disputado esse final. Vamos ver quem consegue acelerar um pouquinho mais.
últimos burpees para Cristi Mitch, apenas 6 burpees e é só correr. 7 minutos e 25. Olha só, vamos ver quem é que Cristi Mitch
Fechando a prova, 7h37, tempo não oficial. Cristi Mitch agora, Natália Mencari fechando também. Últimas repetições para Sasha Nievas, que agora é claro para fechar a prova. 7h49, tempo não oficial. Nós vamos entrar no minuto final. Olha só, Luísa Dias correndo para fechar a prova também.
Camila Gonçalves vai
E
completar.
já estamos no último minuto.
Cara, foi 37 a mais, mano. Burra pra caralho.
Temos aí trabalhando nas últimas repetições.
Camila Gonçalves completando sua prova. Atletas, vamos para os últimos 40 segundos. 40 segundos.
E 30 segundos.
Esse é o nosso hit number 1. 20 segundos, atletas.
E atenção, atletas, vamos entrar nos segundos finais.
10 segundos.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fim
Tempo!
de prova.
Aê, uma salva de palmas para as atletas dessa primeira bateria feminina, evento número 4. Nós vamos agora para a segunda bateria, onde teremos Mayra Medina, Daniela Carvajal, Andréia Pinheiro, Larissa Cunha, Suzana Eto, Eliana Jimenez, Yasmin Arroio Loaiza, Tatiane Freitas e Cristiane Kniff.
Eu amo burn.
Tá valendo! Nossa próxima bateria do individual feminino, bateria de número 2, evento 4, último evento do dia, Daniel, e o penúltimo dia de competição.
Oh, yes, dia Nath, evento de número 4 amanhã, os atletas e as equipes encaram os eventos 5 e 6. Vamos ver o que acontece aqui. Lembrando que o campo de competição está extremamente acirrado aqui. Nada, absolutamente nada está definido. Muita coisa pode e certamente vai acontecer aqui ao longo dessa bateria, dessa prova e das provas que temos amanhã para os atletas.
E olha só, nessa bateria atleta, Larissa Cunha, que teve um excelente desempenho na prova anterior, que venceu a prova, subiu diversas colocações e ela tá aqui, ó, no show na arena, atleta Larissa.
Exatamente bem ao centro da arena, na área de número 6, temos a Larissa Cunha, que venceu em 3. Vamos ver se ela consegue manter a consistência aqui, ter uma boa performance, um bom desempenho nesse evento.
É isso aí,
Começa bem, trabalhando bem rápido, aí temos também várias atletas fortes, todas as atletas muito fortes nessa bateria. É prova bem diferente da prova anterior aí, então vamos ver.
E a Larissa Cunha avançando, junto com a atleta Tati Freitas.
E a Andréia Pinheiro também acompanhando a Larissa ali, aproximadamente no mesmo número de repetições. Quem avança agora também é a Daniela Carvajal, na raia de número 8.
Avançando Tatiane Freitas, atleta liderando a bateria da Vitória CrossFit em mais uma série com 125 libras, veja só.
Larissa Cunha também, estão juntas, empatadas, Larissa Cunha e Tatiane Freitas, repetição por repetição. Agora Andréia Pinheiro também iniciando o segundo round de snatches. Suzana Ena também já está no segundo round de snatches. A atleta Daniela Carvajal avançando também a sua barra para iniciar o segundo round de snatches.
Atleta da raia de número 10, raia de número 9, Maíra Medina com um pouco de dificuldades aí com a carga, hein? 2 minutos e meio.
Tatiane e Larissa avançando ao mesmo tempo. Atrás, Andréia também. 2 minutos e 45 de prova.
É isso aí, vocês já sabem, 9 minutos. Tatiane Freitas e Larissa Cunha na liderança dessa prova.
Mas
Avançando.
quem começa a série de golpes primeiro é a Larissa Cunha. Começando um pouquinho antes, alguns segundos na frente da Tatiane Freitas.
Ambas atletas aí do Rio de Janeiro, Larissa Cunha e Tati Freitas, mandando os burpees aí do segundo round, snatch com 125 libras. Atleta Andréia Pinheiro e Suzana Eto também à frente. As 4 atletas que estão aí chegando já no terceiro round, brasileiras, hein, Daniel?
É isso mesmo, liderança brasileira aqui nessa prova, nessa bateria. As atletas chegando próximas aí de iniciarem o round de número 3, onde a coisa fica ainda mais rápida, 75 libras na barra. Vamos ver então, hein? Temos 4 minutos agora, 4 minutos de prova.
Larissa Cunha e Tatiane Freitas. Larissa agora mandando seus snatches unbroken, carga leve para as atletas, 75 libras.
Abrindo algumas repetições de vantagem sobre a Tatiane Freitas. Larissa Cunha agora na raia de número 6. Tatiane avançando a barra agora. Larissa já algumas repetições. Quem começou agora também foi a Andréia Pinheiro. Então também trabalha com velocidade, hein? Vamos ver agora o que acontece nos próximos minutos. Larissa vai iniciar, vai abrir agora a terceira série de burpees.
Larissa Cunha agora já nos seus penúltimos burpees. Andréia Pinheiro também acelerando, ela que dá BSB CrossFit, já nos seus burpees junto com Tatiane Freitas. Chegando em 5 minutos de prova, 4 minutos para o final. representante lá de Brasília nos últimos burpees. Larissa entrando nos últimos burpees. Andréia vai completar a prova.
7 minutos tempo não oficial. Andréia Pinheiro fechando a prova. Vencendo a bateria. Últimos movimentos para a Larissa Cunha, que agora vai fechar a prova. 7:14 tempo não oficial. Larissa fechando a prova. Suzana entra para correr agora, fecha 7:20, tempo não oficial também. Agora Tatiane Freitas, 7:25, tempo não oficial, fecha a prova.
É isso aí, 7 minutos e meio, 1 minuto e meio para o final.
Temos 1 minuto e 20, ainda temos vários atletas trabalhando.
Raia de número 8, Daniela Carvajal se aproximando também das suas últimas repetições. E Yasmine Arroio também nos seus últimos snatches. 50 segundos.
45 segundos para o fim.
40 segundos fechando a prova agora, Daniela Carvajal. E Yasmine Arroio nas suas últimos burpees para
30
ela.
segundos.
Acelera, atletas, dale, dale, dale. E Yasmine Arroio nos seus últimos burpees. 15 segundos. Contagem 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fim!
Mais barulho aí, galera. Todas essas atletas.
We'll see what these 9 can come up with here. Melina Rodriguez is the one to keep an eye on in lane 1. 4th place coming in. Leah Schmidt was 13th beginning the day. She is now 9 after 3 events.
And the big question here is, how are some of these athletes that had a good event 3 going to handle the weights? That 125 pounds on a snatch is not a light weight for the volume of reps they have in the beginning.
We have only the numbers these athletes have entered, so it may not necessarily be what they have done every day in the gym, but Leah Schmidt has only put in a 160-pound snatch at her top. So here she is going for 125, and she's doing a lot of it. So how does that tax you in terms of your workload percentage coming onto a stage like this?
You know, it depends on your technique and your form and what you're using, but look at the bottom part of your screen with Melina Rodriguez, who's sitting in 4th. She's went touch and go for her first set of 5, and then now settling into singles. I think right off the bat, if you're gonna do singles at any point in time, you might as well just start from the beginning. Doing 5 touch and go reps right off the start is only gonna save you maybe 10 to 15 seconds, but can smoke you for the second round of snatches. So, like I said, on the men's side, bide your time in the beginning. 125 for the women is going to be a challenging weight. Maybe a little bit more than we saw on the men's side with 175. So, what Leah's dealing with is a very high percentage weight relative to her 1-rep max snatch. And if you see in the middle of the floor, she is now relegated to squat snatches. And I think that's a great idea. Don't do power unless you have to. The thing about doing a squat snatch in the middle is that it allows you to not work as hard to get the weight over your head. Yes, you have to incorporate your legs, but it takes more pressure off the body. So I think that's a great adjustment that Leah's doing for round number 1.
Leah Schmidt is a previous regionals athlete. She was here in 2015 and 16. That was the Super South, that big super regional when Latin America's regional went away. She said from that she learned, when I get stuck on a movement, don't get stuck on a movement. Get out of your own head. It's not the end of the world. Drive through the smoke. The only way out is the way through. Saw Rodriguez there in lane 1. Almost 2 minutes in to a 9-minute snatch burpee sprint. Lane 5, Jimena Delamere, someone else who has made some moves today, was 11th, is now 6th. Positioning herself potentially, depending on how she does here, to be in the final heat tomorrow.
And we see on outside lanes, bottom part of your screen, you do have Jennifer Reyes, and the top part was Melina Rodriguez. Luana Suarez, one of the tallest athletes in the entire competitive field, both including men and women, at just over 6 feet tall, handling the barbell well, has decent conditioning, so this is a event that should play well into her favor if she can set herself up. Like I said, pace the first 2 rounds, don't give it away, but put yourself in a position to maximize your skills and strengths on the second half.
We talked about the 160 for Leah Schmidt. The numbers we have on Suarez, 105 kilos. That's 231 pounds on a snatch.
It is insane when you think about a 1-rep max for a female. It's like, I'm lucky if I can ever hit that in the gym. But Melina Rodriguez, who's one of those athletes that were going out pretty quick, more compact, a little bit stronger, that barbell in the second half, we're dropping from 125 to 75 pounds. And what you want to see from these athletes is to move into that bar with energy. You don't need a lot of time if you're too tired to lift it.
Suarez is the first one onto her second bar in the red in the middle of your screen.
And that's what you want to see with someone who has a 235-pound 1-rep max snatch.
Did you just see her advance the bar? Most people are dropping the bar and rolling it forward. Suarez said, no, I'll just leave it over my head and take some steps ahead.
You know, that's something she's probably practiced prior to coming to this regional. Just being able to stabilize overhead and go right into the next rep. But what we want to see is how is Melina, bottom left corner of the screen, gonna keep pace with her. I think her burpees might end up being a little bit quicker, but you can't let Suarez get too far ahead.
Can she be a mover and a shaker here? She already has a top 5 finish. Could another one here put her in contention, or at least in striking distance, come Sunday? The event record for this test is 5:35. Katrin set it last week in Albany. That is a minute away and a long ways away. But Suarez is in position to potentially set the record here, the time to beat here in Rio de Janeiro.
Got Reyes in the fore part of your screen, Rodriguez in the back. Time to beat 7 minutes. Suarez moving into her final round, middle lane, red top, just at the 5-minute mark.
She'll snatch this bar 5 times and either roll it or walk it ahead. She might throw it at this point. Look at that. Undaunted. Touch and go. It's like she's flinging toothpicks behind her. Last one gave her a bit of trouble, but she is just fine. 90 seconds to complete 12 bar-facing burpees here. 2-foot takeoff, and she can have a new time to beat here in Heat 3.
I don't see anybody in this heat going to be able to catch her. If you see Rodriguez on the right side of your screen is trying to at least stay ahead of Reyes, who's in the other side of the competition floor, who's matched up with her pretty much rep for rep this entire heat. But it is all Luana Suarez into her final 6 burpees over the bar.
Reyes and Martinez, both big friends. They are games competitors. Went as a team out of the South last year, and they are going at it in lanes 1 and 10. Suarez has the hand up though. She comes down the home stretch. She is gonna just fire away at the event mark here in Rio. She does it at 6:25. 35 seconds ahead of pace. You want to know how good Katrin David's daughter is? She was a minute ahead of that. Rodriguez is second into the clubhouse, followed by Reyes. Hand is in the air in lane 5 as well for Delamar. And remember, she was coming in 6th place, and she is over the line. The cap 2 minutes away. The bar rolling forward in lane 2 for Catherine Bogantes Chavez. The Costa Rican, former swimming champion who started so hot this weekend. A 6th place finish in event 1, 28th though in event 2. Makes things difficult for her to move here on Saturday. Antonelli Nicole is working in the pink. And she had a good first event today. Vaulted her from 15th up to 10th. Well known from her participation in the 18.1 Open announcement this year, where she competed head-to-head with Pravacci. And across in lane 2 is Bogantes Chavez. A minute left to go, and Antonelli Nicole did not take the right walk around the bar, so had to go back. I think they hit her for a 2-foot takeoff on the jump over the bar there. 45 seconds remaining. Leah Schmidt trying to finish the burpees and avoid the cap. She is the only one, it looks like, of the remaining 3 out there that has a chance to finish this thing off with 30 seconds to go if she hurries. And she hurried. Leah Schmidt is done 25 seconds before the cap. And now how quickly can you do burpees in lane 6? Rosana Prado. Smile and go. 10 seconds. The circus performer up and down and cap. Prado left her guts out there. She is still smiling.
Still smiling.
I tell you what, as the Latin America regional continues to progress, I hope she's around for a while. I really do. It's a great go, though, for Suarez. Really big move and shake here in event 4.
Well, when you start an event that has 10 or 2 sets of 10 snatches at 125, it pays to have a 235-pound 1-rep max. And when she got to the 75-pound bar, walking the bar forward every set of 5, smooth burpees over the bar towards the end. She wasn't getting pushed at all towards the very end, and that's a great time for Luana Suarez.
Here's Steffi.
Luana, what a great finish. Another hit win. Did you have this game plan on keeping that bar over your head the entire time while you were finishing or wrapping this up? Luana, mais uma vez ganhou seu hit. Você tem esse plan de manter sobre a sua cabeça a barra?
Eu gosto muito de levantamento de peso. Comecei com o LPO há muito tempo, aí conheci o CrossFit. A minha base vem tipo do vôlei passei para o LPO.
She loves volley. That was her first sport. And now she loves weightlifting, so it was a great event for her. Congratulations, Luana, going into day 3.
Oi?
Obrigada e parabéns, Luana, para o dia 3.
Eu que agradeço a todo mundo pela torcida, pela vibração, pelas mensagens aí, galera. Valeu, muito obrigado.
Obrigada.
Luana Suarez potentially with another fantastic finish, depending on how things go here in Heat 4. In the middle, Simona Quintana, she will go out of lane 5. Brenda Castro, Milena Simons based on your spot coming into the day, not the event. So she will be toward the bottom of your screen in lane 8. There is Galgo Power. Greyhound in Spanish. That is how Simona Quintana is known back in her native Chile. Quintana came in 36th, literally the last person invited to the regionals round, and it took 20 women coming as a member of a team, not as individuals, to clear that path for her, and Teffy had a chance to talk to her earlier.
Simona and I were talking earlier, and she mentioned that she had no idea she would be placing this high in this weekend. She just came here to see where she would place and what she needed to do in order for her to next year come back with more. But she's doing amazing. She's not letting that get into her head. She did a little bit at the beginning and realized that that wasn't the path. She's focusing on what she can do. She mentioned that this will be, the snatches, very heavy for her. And the only thing that she needed to do is make sure she didn't have a rep.
Tabby, thank you. Chase, if she came into this weekend trying to figure out where she stood, I think she needs to reset the goals.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're only halfway through this weekend to see where she's at. She's currently sitting in first, but Brenda Castro is trying to close that 16-point gap on her, as you see in lanes 1 and lane 2. Andrea Rodriguez and Costanza Cabrera, your current leaders in this heat alongside Brenda Castro. And that 125 snatch, we saw Simone on the screen earlier doing those full snatches, those squat snatches, because that weight is so heavy. Again, I don't think that's a bad idea, especially if you can't handle the load. It's gonna make the snatch a lot easier. A heavy power snatch takes such a toll on the body in terms of just physical exertion. So dropping underneath that bar and catching it in a full squat will actually save you energy. The time is gonna be minimal since everybody is doing singles to begin with. What I like Brenda Castro in the forward part of your screen is that she's handling the bar pretty well for 125. That's very close to body weight for her. Right, but what she does have is work capacity on her side. So she has 5 more snatches to go here at 125. Get through the burpees in the first 2 rounds, and then once round 3 hits and that bar drops 50 pounds to 75, that's when we're gonna see who really wants it more towards the end, how they handle those snatches and burpees.
Castro has jumped in the standings 4 spots from 6th to 2nd. However, she's also only picked up 4 points. So while she's gotten closer to Quintana, Quintana's also kept the stiff arm out a little bit because her overall lead has actually grown. While Castro has gotten closer, the field as a whole has fallen off. The lead overall was 4 points coming into the day. Now Quintana comes in up 16. There's your leaders in the heat right now. In lanes 1 and 2, it is Rodriguez and Cabrera.
And as this event unfolds, a lot of times you'll see the stronger athletes get ahead of the field in the beginning in the first 2 rounds, and then the more work capacity centric athletes to chase them down. And what you want to see is that they can at least get a lead comfortably. What you don't want to do is just use what you're good at, which might be strength, and then get yourself too tired to finish strong.
And Quintana in the middle of your screen is way back, and those squat snatches are deep, and it's taking her a while. She has some cushion. What we will find out about 5 some odd minutes from now, there's a no wrap, will be exactly how far that cushion goes for her.
And it depends on how hard she can close on the second half. So she'll be in the bottom left half of your screen. And now what it is the reps look good, it's just heavy for her. And now she can get to the second half. I think her engine can at least help propel her to do some damage control on the second half of the event. But on the right side of your screen, you got your top 3 leaders in the upper left part in lanes 1, 2, and 3. It's actually Cecilia Ramirez Villamil who has moved up ahead of both Cabrera and Rodriguez in lane number 3.
She comes in 14th place. She started the day in 5th, a tough event 3 for her, but she's got the build for an event like this. She is built to throw weight over her head. And she's got the engine too on the burpees. Almost 5 minutes in, just look at her throw that lighter barbell now over her head. This is warm-up weight almost for Ramirez Villamil. And like Suarez, she just kept it over her head and walked it forward.
And if you can, you might as well save yourself a little transition time going touch and go from the floor. And by the way she's handling this barbell, as you see to her left, the next closest 2 in lanes 1 and 2 with Rodriguez and Cabrera, it's going to shape up very well. It's a good bounce back event for Ramirez.
Brenda Castro's pace has slowed as well. Down in lane 8. Her burpees have slowed a little bit, although she does move forward to pick up the bar and snatch again. There's Castro in the blue. She's working next to Vivian Aiello, who moves forward to begin burpees as Castro follows. Villamil, however, is nearly done with this thing with 6:04 on the clock. And she's done with 6:09. 6:09.31 unofficially for Villamil. Castro trying to make up some time in lane 8. Aiello next to her is flying through the burpees.
She might move and try for second.
She does, although it's tight down in lane 1. Rodriguez beat her by 5/100ths of a second. Lead with the ankle. You can see the black and red around Brenda Castro's left ankle. That is where your chip timer is. And that's why you'll see some athletes slide foot first to get across the finish line.
Now we have 2 athletes that need to get across the finish line. That's Brenda Castro at the bottom, and then right above her, Anita Pravacci, who was only 4 points out starting the day, dropped well below after the 3rd event. So that's needed for Brenda Castro to finish around that 7-minute mark. That should be good enough for top 10. Anita Pravacci in the middle lane needs to get across that finish line. And what we're gonna see now is that we've had a tight race coming into event 3, then it spread out. With this finish, especially with Simona out there still on the floor, it's gonna bring it all back together again, because in 4th place, they were 48 points out. 3-way tie with 48 points out. All of those girls have finished now. So we gotta see what Simona Quintana is gonna do as we're getting close to that 9-minute cap.
She's going to cede ground here. It's just about how much and where she is and what she has to do tomorrow, or if she has a lane tomorrow. 3 athletes remain on the floor. Lilian Orjuela in lane 10, Julieta Chappie in lane 9. There is Orjuela, and she is through 49 seconds ahead of the cap. So it is just Quintana and Chappie now out on the floor. Quintana is in the blue, rolling her bar into her final set of burpees. Can she get in under the cap? And no, she just got no rep there.
No, she's not gonna get underneath the cap, and I'm just curious to see what the point differential is gonna be based off this. Now, what does this mean? It just means it all starts over again tomorrow, because it's gonna be very tight at the top, and we're starting the day off with a very long chipper. She's got great work capacity. She's meant to be here. She's proved that. Now, how do you handle the disappointment at the end of the day as opposed to the success that she had yesterday?
3 seconds left. Saturday is done. Who will be where? And how much ground will they have to make up and defend? It comes down to Sunday. 1 man, woman, and team will go to the CrossFit Games from Rio de Janeiro. Villamil, how'd she get it done?
Well, she was consistent. That's how she got it done. She's a strong athlete. She was smooth through the first 2 rounds, which is what we want to see from these athletes with the heavier snatches. And then when you get to the lighter ones, 75 pounds was no issue. Strong finish to the end. She started in 4th, fell to 8th. Now with another 100 points to her name, putting herself back up into contention, at least seeing maybe the top 5, top 3 after this event.
6:09 to get her the event victory. Huge fan of the musical Rent. No day but today, and she's down to talk about it with Tefi.
Cecilia, we were talking earlier how you were not disappointed with last event, but you wanted to do better. Did that fire you up?
Sí, claro, por supuesto. O sea, la verdad es que no pensé que me fuera tan bien en este, pero yo creo que el hecho de que en el pasado no me hubiera ido, vaya, me fue como esperaba que me fuera, como sabía que me iba a ir, pero no como esperaba que me fuera. Entonces creo que como esa sensación de querer dar más me sirvió mucho para este.
She wasn't expecting this, and that sense of wanting to just prove and move on to this competition make her just go ahead, not think, and just go with it. Nice job. What are you going to do tonight for tomorrow's?
Descansar, ponerme un rato el Compex y comer.
Awesome. She's going to rest, eat, and just enjoy the night. Thank you, Cecilia.
Gracias a ti.
Cecilia Ramirez Villamil, the 29-year-old out of Mexico, the one they call Negra. Since her childhood, coming and trying to catch the Galgo. Take down Simona Quintana, at least close ground, here to finish things out on Saturday. 4 of 6 events at the first Latin America CrossFit Regionals in the books. Let's check in on the men's standings here as we finish up where the women's standings are. This is how things sit as we come in.
Yes.
Wow. Pablo Chalfun, how about it? Bottom to the top, same as Quintana, but he's the one who's going into Sunday in the driver's seat.
We've made a lot of noise about Simona Quintana being the last qualifier sitting in first place. Pablo Chalfun is the same exact story. Last qualifier to this regional, now sitting in top, but only 2 points and then 2 more points below that. We wanted a good race coming into Sunday. You got it. 2 top 4 guys, I would say even 5th, with Anderon Primo being one of the favorites coming in his hometown crowd. It's going to be a very exciting day 3 on the men's side.
One more day to go here in Rio de Janeiro. Somebody, and that's the key, somebody is going to the CrossFit Games. One man, one woman, one team. This place is gonna be bonkers tomorrow. Come on back, you're not gonna wanna miss this. For Chase, Teffy, the rest of our crew, my name is Joel Gadet, games.crossfit.com for all your information, standings, and recaps.